Hey, y'all, Elise Smith here, and welcome to the Socially Awesome Podcast, where we empower mompreneurs to implement simple social media strategies into their businesses and elevate their online presence. I'm a mompreneur of three, an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer, a social media marketing agency owner, and your personal guru. I am here to give you tips, tricks, and tools that you need to build your social media business. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back to the Socially Awesome channel. Elise Smith here. So excited today to be talking a little bit to you about social media for small businesses, tips and tricks for growth. So I want to welcome you. Thank you all for listening. I know some of you are new here. So if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the podcast so you can get an update every single time we drop an episode, okay? And the importance of social media in today's digital age is essential, right? It's so crucial that if you have any type of business, that you are understanding how social media works and you're taking advantage of it, because for the most part, it can be a completely free platform for you. So there is some tips that I'm going to give you today. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on social media, and I'd love to cover them on the podcast or one-on-one with you. But first, I want to talk about understanding social media platforms. So there's major platforms, and there's some that are up and coming. There's some that have already come out and they've died. And there's probably more that I have not even heard of. Okay. So you've got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok. There's one called Clapper out there now. Pinterest is technically considered social media. You've got things like Yelp, Google My Business. So it's really important that you understand the characteristics and the target audiences of each platform and pick which ones are best for you. So I won't dive into this too much, but selecting the platform that aligns with your businesses the most is going to help you reach your goals. So it's significant to be consistent across the platforms as well. So I would always recommend that you choose one or two that you're going to focus on at a time, and not to overextend yourself, because what's going to happen is that you're going to try to be on all platforms at once, and it's going to be stressful for you. You're not going to be consistent. Your audience is going to be able to tell that you are exhausted with the content creation. Now, you could have someone repurpose it for you, meaning if you make a TikTok, you can always remove the watermark, put it on your Instagram, put it on your Pinterest, put it on your YouTube. But as far as like creating curated content for every single platform, it could be exhausting. Okay. So you need to do some research on which ones are going to work the best for your business. I'll give you an example. So if you're a business that does like business to business sales, maybe you're on LinkedIn because that's where professionals are, right? Maybe that's where they're hanging out. If you're someone who does photography, maybe Instagram is better for you, because of course it originally started out as perfectly aesthetic photos, and it's moved more into, or it has moved into the video content space. Maybe if your business is about like a lot of before and afters or showing a lot of video content, TikTok might be better for you, right? And they all have some sort of element of each, but pick what's going to work best for you. Okay. Tip number 2 is going to be setting small goals. So smart, small goals. And not to say that you shouldn't set large goals, but you really do need to appreciate those small wins in this process in order to stay consistent. So of course, SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. But really think about what are those goals and what are you looking to get out of these platforms, right? So I often have this conversation with my group coaching program is, we often will say like, oh, I didn't grow any followers this month. Okay, but I know a lot of content creators out there that have 1 million followers and they don't even make 5 figures a month because they're not engaged following. They're not followers that really care what they're selling, right? So you want to have some smart goals around increasing your brand awareness, generating leads, driving website traffic, things that are going to make an ROI for you. So you need to decide what that looks like. Maybe this month we're looking at driving our engagement up a couple percent, a certain amount of percentages, so that you can in return, sell X amount of whatever your product is that month. And then the next month, maybe you want to double it, or maybe you want to 1.5 times it.
whatever that looks like, but set those small goals and know that the most important goals are going to be reach and engagement. You need to make sure your content is reaching people and then engaging. So if you're reaching 1 million people a month, but no one's engaging, something's wrong with your content. And that's why you go back and you curate and you fix and you debrief and you fix your content. Number 3, content creation and strategy. So it's so important for you to have high quality, engaging content on social media. Don't post and pray. Don't just put a picture of your lunch out there and hope someone likes to see it. You've got to create engaging content. So in tip number 2, we said that we want to track our engagement, but if people aren't engaging with our content, why is that? Let's go back and see what we did, what we posted, what wasn't working, what was working. What's the different types of content that work well on social media for you? So if you are someone that, like I said, has maybe like a DIY business, maybe you're a contractor where you could show, okay, this is what the house looked like before, this is what it looks like now. Maybe you're someone who, teaches like screen shares and actually teaches how to do graphics or something like that. Video is probably going to be best for you because people want to watch. They want to see the change. They want to see the difference. Images, if you're a photographer, like I said, images are going to be the best for you to show off your work. Not to say videos won't, but images, you show off that I took this photo, right? And you could show off a lot of different work in images as well. Like maybe you're someone who specializes in Photoshop and you show what the picture looked like before and after you lightened it up, right? If you're someone who does a lot of like writing, or you're a copywriter, maybe blog posting's better for you. So understanding the differences in the content creation for your target audience and tailoring it to their preferences is so crucial. And we talk a lot about this in my group, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs. So if you're not already in there, check the show notes below, jump into the group, because I'm telling you, you get so much value out of it. Providing tips for creating compelling content. So provide tips to your audience about how they can do what you're doing. Using that eye-catching visual, crafting attention-grabbing headlines, hooks, call to actions, telling stories, right? So number 4 is engaging with your audience. And this is so important. I think a lot of businesses just post and they don't actually engage with their audience. So we're talking about like responding to comments, messages, running contests, giveaways, conducting polls, surveys. If you engage on the platform, you're more likely to have people engage back with you. So I want to encourage you to actively engage with your audience as much as you can. And this could just be 15 minutes a day, but it needs to be consistent. The next is going to be tracking your analytics. So this is so important. You already do this in every other step of your marketing probably, and you might even do this in operations of your business, but you need to track what's working and what's not. So, your website traffic, your engagement, your reach, we talked about these earlier, but if you're not tracking them month over month, you're not going to tell if you're growing or not. So that's super important that you do that. You need to track it and see, am I growing or am I not? And if you're not, then we need to go back and see why. Why are you not growing? What's not growing? Maybe one platform is, one platform isn't. Maybe your video content is getting tons of engagement, but your posts aren't getting any. So you could do this on like your Facebook Insights, your Google Analytics. There's so many different ways for you to be able to do this, but you really need to be consistent at checking it, okay? And the last thing I wanted to talk about was advertising and paid promotion. So there's so many different ways that you could actually just, have the benefits of social media marketing and advertising and paid promotion for very little cost per click. If you're wanting to spend money, you can create effective ads, throw some budgets behind it, create that compelling copy. You really will see a big turn in ads if you have all of these other pieces of the puzzle set up already. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, like I said, always reach out to me. Make sure you take a screenshot of you listening to this, post it in your stories and tag me. I would love to reshare it to my audience as well. That's the best way to grow your audience for your business, is to get in front of other people's audiences. Power of proximity. If you're not already in my free community, check that out below. The show notes has tons of resources for you. And then if you got any value out of today's episode, we would absolutely love for you to leave a review. It is the best compliment that you could give. We read all of our reviews and we cherish them. So until next time, guys, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm Elise Smith, your host, and let me tell you how you can get a free social media audit from me. Make sure that your profile is optimized and you're ready to build. Take a screenshot of you listening to this episode, throw it in your stories and tag me. You can find my handle in the show notes. I will share it to my entire audience, and you will be entered to win one of the 5 free audits that I'll be doing every single month. Number 2, if you found any value out of this episode or any of my episodes at all, please feel free to leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give. Lastly, make sure you check out the link to get into my free community, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs. It's in the show notes. We go live in there weekly with guest trainings and more. Until next time, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome.